Oh, there we are. Well, where are we on the desktop? There it is. YouTube is so slow lately. Let me move this a little bit. Yeah, I didn't have time to print everything out today, so I'm going to have to read off my screen. There it is. Okay, let me turn down my volume on the desktop. Let me just get this set. Hey, Donna. Hey, Donna, I just got back from a medical, and on the way home, I did go to the box, and there's a couple packages there, Donna, and I will be opening them live, but not in this one because I haven't had a chance to like put everything together yet. Yeah, I wasn't even going to go live today, but there was some breaking news in the Nancy Guthrie case, and I wasn't. So thank you, Donna. I will open it live if that's okay with you. Just not on this one. And I saw that other package was there too, Donna. So thank you for taking care of that. I don't know what you said or you did, but I appreciate it. Yeah, I've got weird things behind my head now because I'm kind of turned sideways. Oh, there's the ghost of Kelsa. There she's coming into the chat. Let's see who's here. Nanette, Donna, Carol, Deanna, Jewel, Kelsers, the first pip of the day. You know, last night, Kelsers, someone was trying to say they couldn't see their badges. And I was like being a dork saying, oh, but you're not a mod. And, no, the badges are the membership badges. There's the membership emojis and the membership badges. And then there's the little shield, which used to be a wrench. So I was like, what are you talking about? You don't have a badge because you're not a mod. Like YouTube is hard, people. Hey, Margaret Lund, there's another pip. Leanne Rayner, there's another pip. Oh my gosh. So I got both my mods here for now. Great. Yeah, I had to go take care of that, the kidney follow-up. And like I said, my camera's a little bit this way. So if you see a little lady popping up on that side, that's just the ghost of Kelsa up on my shelf. The number 3, what does that mean? Oh, the third, wait a minute. Don't know. What's the number 3? What's a PIP? A PIP is a member of the PI posse, Carol. So if you join the membership, the channel membership, you are a PIP. And the people sitting on the sidelines, apparently they're the peps now. Like the pep squad. Oh, wow. Hey, I wasn't going to go live because I did have that doctor's appointment, and then I rushed over to grab those packages at the business box. But there was some more breaking news today. What? You don't need mods, you need John Walsh. Only joking. I don't know John Walsh, Jason. Thank you, Carol. Yeah, I got to do more testing. I mean, it's not bad, and the doctor was behind today. And usually that doctor's pretty much on time, but the place was packed. Maybe because it was Monday. I don't know. But I saw this story before I left, and I thought, oh boy, something's breaking. Always breaks, like right when I'm walking out the door to go handle something important. There were more bones that were found today in Tucson, Arizona, out in the desert, thus the desert green screen, although it's kind of hard to see with my big fat head in the way, but yeah, there's the desert. Oh, yeah. If I put myself too low in the chat, then you guys won't be able to see me because of the chat if you're watching on a mobile device. But these are not the same bones, at least I don't believe they are, as the ones that were found last week. Let me turn off my notifications there. And I forgot to set it on my screen, the chat filter. Let me just fix that. Okay. The ones that were found last week were, I think, within maybe 4 or 5 miles of our home. And they were off the 10. And I actually gave the 2 streets that were closest to where they were found. And I don't keep the notes from day to day. Maybe I should have kept a folder on all the notes because these bones were found about 15 miles from the home. And the streets that they named, it says West Ajo Way, if I'm pronouncing that right. If it's Spanish, it could be Ajo Way, but I'm going to say Ajo Way, I don't know. And South La Cholla Boulevard in Arizona, approximately 15 miles from Nancy Guthrie's home. Yeah. Kelser says, I heard these were new bones, different from the ones last week. Thank you for letting me know, because I had that question, but I didn't think they were the same. Authorities said there's no indication at this time that the remains, which appear to have been at the location for an extended period of time, are connected to the Nancy Guthrie investigation, but Pima County Sheriff's Department search and rescue deputies are responding to the scene. And then it just goes through, the stuff we already know, like NBC Today show host Savannah Guthrie's mother, 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, vanished from her Tucson area home on February the 1st. Yeah, as far as we know, it was February the 1st. She was last seen January 31st, before she was apparently kidnapped from her home in Arizona's Catalina foothills without her phone or critical medications. Investigators have no leading theory about a motive, according to a source. Well, I think we kind of know what the motive is. JLR was doing a live stream and CNN arrived on site. Oh, wow. Didn't see it because, waiting in a doctor's office, the story of my life. Carol says, Bones, 15 miles from her home. Why aren't the family, Annie and Savannah, having private investigators and people on top of this? It's like nobody cares anymore. It sure seems that way, doesn't it, Carol? De Estrada, hello. Yeah, 57 people in the house. Can I get a thumbs up on this video? And if you're not subscribed, please do. Gained quite a few last night and then lost quite a few. I'm just kind of at a standstill right now at 86.55. I need to get to 9. So we're only like 300 plus subs remaining to get to 9K. That would be awesome. I can't believe it, but that would be awesome for me. Carol says, what's weird? As our government FBI found a Bin Laden and all the terrorists through technology and things they do, I can't believe they can't find out who did this or a motive. I know. We can go to the moon, but, thank you, Kelsers. Yeah, I wasn't going to do this, but then I saw the story and I'm like, I better get on the air. And then there was another story today, but I think we already talked about this a few days ago. Let me go through all the pop-ups. It says FBI makes major decision in the Nancy Guthrie case as her disappearance remains unsolved. Now, we already basically went over this, so I'm not going to read it again, but basically the FBI is like, hey, we're not the lead agency on this, and we'll still continue to provide, like the CSI stuff and assistance when requested, and we'll kind of look over what they're doing. Like we'll kind of be watching over Pima County Sheriff's shoulders, but they're still saying that Pima County's in charge, and that worries me. I'm worried a lot because, this is the same agency who, in about 20 to 30 hours, released the scene back to the family. And if you were to believe that first story that came out by Ashley Banfield, it was a member of the family at the beginning of this investigation that was assumed to be the number one suspect. And that person, that family had access to all of this. Respect Farm Life, thank you for putting up the custom channel emojis. Yeah, let me check on the back end to see. Because yesterday and the day before, I got quite a few gifted members. I've run out of memberships to gift until at least September the 1st. Let me go check really quick and see where we are at member-wise. Oh my God, it says 93. I think they updated. It takes like a day or two for them to update those numbers. Oh, wow. And let me just click where it says badges and emojis. And then I have to click emoji. And then it tells me after I scroll to the bottom, it says, as you gain more members, you can upload and share even more emojis. In order to unlock the 14th emoji, I need 7 more members. 7, like 93 is not enough? Who would have ever thought that? Oh my God, I started with like 3 or 4. Now we're up to 13. So if I can get 7 more members before some of these other like gifted members fall off in 30 days, let's just get it up there. Especially that subscriber count, because I think it, even though I don't get paid for subs, it helps bring more people in. Just like me doing vertical lives rather than horizontal lives, that's how most people find these videos. So if it's working, I'm going to stick with it. Pima County Sheriff told JLR they did not know if male or female. Yeah, I heard one of the articles I read said they were bleached white bones, and that's an indication that they've had tremendous sun exposure, which to me sounds like somebody that was either placed there or someone that may have just died there, like a camper, a hiker, a homeless person, someone wandering through the desert. Like they either died in that spot or they were placed in that spot, because they didn't say they found, like the signs of a burial, that they were exposed completely to the sun. And I guess it takes a lot of time for the bones to become like a bleach white color like that. But, I'm not a medical examiner. So, yeah, and if they were that, that far advanced decomposition state, it's probably hard to tell just by appearance, like if it's a male or a female. That would have to be determined by the coroner. But I guess just based on what they saw, I think they think they're older than what they would be if they were, someone who disappeared just 6 months ago. So it's probably not her. Like we talked about this yesterday. And whenever we talked about those first set of bones, like people, there are bones in the desert. Now, I'd like to know how they were found. Did somebody, like a hiker, like who would be hiking in 100-degree heat? Like they're in a remote part of the desert. It's not like the other set that was near like some main roads and a freeway. I mean, they were like way out in the desert. Like they were remote, even though it's only so many miles from where she lives. Because remember, she's in the Catalina foothills, so she's already like on her neighborhood, Nancy's neighborhood, is kind of on the edge of town to begin with. So if you go, further out, it's just middle of nowhere. When you get out of these cities, it's just open desert. So Nanette says several media outlets now on site. Yeah, that's why I wanted to go on, even though, I don't like to come on a show and be rushed like I was the other day with the deliveries. And then, I tried to make up for it on Saturday, and, I thought the building was on fire and the fire department was here. Like, there were microphone issues. Everything seems to be fine now. Are you guys hearing me? Let me know if you can hear me good. Arizona has too many rattlesnakes. Yeah, it's the rattlesnake capital of the world. But we got plenty too in Los Angeles, Tomcat. You just have to watch your step this time of year. But yeah, that's the rattlesnake capital of the world, as far as I know, is the state of Arizona. It's the perfect climate for them, but it's even hot for the rattlesnakes right now. They're probably coming out at night when it's a bit cooler. Kelsers, I have a bad feeling that those aren't Nancy's bones. I hope I'm wrong. It would actually be a blessing, Kelsers, if it was Nancy, because she would be found. And, a body is a number one piece of evidence. Loud and clear. Thank you, Respect Farm Life. Yeah, I have a feeling that they're not either by looking at, from what the police saw. I can't wait for fall and winter. Yeah, we don't really have fall here, Tomcat, in LA. It becomes like, triple digit heat and on fire. But hopefully this will be different. It's just we got our heat early this year, which is not a good sign. Uh, yeah, we're getting into our sus time. And when I went to the mailbox to pick up those packages, uh, there was a power bill in my box, and I don't even want to open it because this AC runs day and night because it just doesn't work well when it's hot outside. So I am so scared to open up that bill. I'm like, you know what? I've already had enough stress for today, just going out in the heat and couldn't find the spot that I usually. They have some designated handicap spots that are a little bit shaded. Those were all full, of course. I had to walk through the heat. When I came back, it turned out one of my lipsticks had fallen out of my pocket and was in between the car seat and the center console, melting in the heat. Like, oh my God, I just lost a lipstick. It's just one of those days. La and is it Ajo or Ajo? How do you pronounce it? Is it Ajo like Spanish or Ajo? Let me know. Lori is a very busy area. Okay. I've heard it was like 19 miles away. Loved your last live. That was a lot, thinking the building was possibly on fire. Yeah. I like about your tenant. Yeah, and I haven't heard how she's doing. The nurse that ran down the stairs a while ago, she threw her cane away to go rescue someone. Yeah, and that's the person they carted away, but I don't know why. And if I did, I wouldn't be able to say it here for her privacy, but I have no idea. And the manager, she was already off, and then she's off Sunday, Monday, so I haven't talked to anybody about it. And my other neighbor, he just came home like in the middle of the night from being out of the country, so he doesn't know anything about it. It's pronounced Ajo. Is it Ajo or Ajo? Ajo. Because I'm trying to pronounce it the Spanish way, like A is ah. Because I learned that in high school. Ah, A, E, O, U. The vowels. Ajo. So hot here in Southern California. Where in Southern California are you, Carol? I'm in the Valley. The Valley. The San Fernando Valley. Yes, I'm a Valley girl. I know. Lori. Are getting my messages. What messages? I see you here, Glenda. Do you mean I see you in the chat? Yes, I see you, Glenda. Short A. Aho. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So I doubt it's her, but I haven't seen any news because, it was driving to the doctor and then they make you get there 15 minutes early. And then, they still don't put you in a room right away. And it's like, well, it's already past my appointment and they haven't put me in the room yet. And then once you get in that room, it's another long sit. And then the doctor never has enough time to explain anything because he's already behind and, he's got to go see other people. So it's like now and then you got to go to the front desk and, get your paperwork and your next appointments. And, oh, you're going to have to call this person to change this thing. And like, yeah. And then I forgot to pee while I was there. I know, TMI, right? And I got in the car and I'm like, oh, I need to pee so bad. And I'm like, but I got to go to the mailbox. And there's going to be traffic on the way home. And but I'm going to that mailbox. That's my goal for today. Let's see. Contractor working in the remote area where bones were found. Oh, was it a contractor that found them? You mean like a construction contractor? See, I don't have any image in my mind as to what this area looks like because I haven't seen anybody's videos today. Hey, Lynn Smith, welcome in. Took a while to learn the Arizona language coming from the Midwest years ago. Yeah, in high school I could talk from 1 to 10, but now I don't remember. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, and then after that I can't remember. I know 8 is ocho, 9 is nueve, but I don't remember 6, 7, and 10. And I can say a few words just because, I live in California and I interviewed thousands of, Spanish speakers with the help of translators. And so there's certain words that I know. April, I'll be right back. I need to go grab my readers out of my car. Keep seeing a shadow next to you and it's throwing me off. Oh, you know what? Let me turn my screen. Or turn my equipment. Is that better? Because the ghost of Kelsa was showing up at first. Because I didn't have time to print this out and copy it and all that, so I had to turn my equipment like sideways so I could read what was on the computer screen in front of me. Now I can see my screen. Yes, better. Okay. Thank you, Donna. Usually I'll like cut and paste and print things out and, have the paperwork, but there was no time. No way I'm going to be able to spell the numbers. Let's see. Yeah. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, something, something, ocho, nueve, something. That's all I remember. I'm going to look that up again. CBS reporting. What is CBS reporting? About the bones? Yeah. That's just it's the green screen. It gets funky. You think that police and FBI and everyone be all over it. Get DNA on the bones, especially after murder of Nancy. Yeah, well, it'll have to go to the medical examiner's office first for Pima County. Has Nancy been found? I'm in Australia. Haven't heard any updates. I don't think so, but they found a second set of bones today, right before I walked out here in LA to go to my medical. But thanks for coming in, Sam, all the way from Australia. I haven't seen many of my Aussie friends lately. I get people from all over the world, and quite a few people watch this from Australia, and they've told me that it's a big story down there. Even New Zealand has said that. I have a couple that comes in from Iceland. Somebody came in from Malta. Like, wow, like my number one channel watcher is or contributor is in Israel. Like it's amazing how this story has touched so many people across all walks of life from all corners of the world. But yet, the average homeless person in Tucson has never heard of this case because there's no flyers going out. There's just nothing getting out to the community, which is crazy. That, you ask some people on the streets and they don't know what you're talking about. But yet there's people, sitting in Malta and Iceland, little islands in the ocean, and they know all about this. Yes, Savannah was born in Australia. Yeah, she was born in Melbourne. Glenn Smith, I thought a body would mummify rather than turn to bones, only being in the desert for a few months. It depends on the conditions. I've had cases where bodies have mummified in a 3 to 4 week period before they were found inside of a residence. It's happened a couple of times. And yeah, it also depends on what room they were found in and what type of AC, and there's a lot of factors that go into it. Yeah, she was born in Australia because her dad was a mining engineer. I don't know how long she lived there, though. I know she moved to Tucson, like 1975. They moved into that house. Now, how long were they there before they moved into that house? Did they live in another house first? I don't know. Yeah, sometimes they are. But there's been YouTubers on the ground that have asked certain people questions and they're like, they don't know what you're talking about because there's no flyers going out except for the ones that the YouTubers are printing up. And, that's one of the reasons I've contributed so many super chats to the Juice because I know he was taking his own money. And that guy works like 3 jobs. He's got his physical therapy job. Apparently he works in a nursing home doing PT. And I don't know if he's a physical therapist or he's like a physical therapist aide. I'm not sure which. He also does Instacart. He does Amazon, or not Amazon. He does YouTube, like 3 jobs, and he's spending his own money. And he's got kids. It costs a lot to have kids. And he just moved. So, hopefully some of the super chats I've sent him, will help pay for the cost of some of those flyers because I feel helpless that I'm not boots on the ground and I can't travel there to help anybody. But yeah, some of the homeless do know what's going on, but not always. There's a lot of people that are walking around Tucson that don't know anything about this, so they claim. I think they moved when she was about 9. Okay. Um, yeah, was that the first house they were in Tucson? Or did they come directly from Australia to move into that house? Because I know that Nancy has owned that house since 1975, but I don't know if that was them moving, directly from Australia and coming to that location, or they live somewhere else. Mining engineers, all types of engineers, they can work all over the place. Oh, you're in Melbourne. Well, welcome in. Welcome in, mate. Uh, You think they moved when she was 9? Wow. Oh, she was 2 years old when they moved back to America. Okay. Wow. That's interesting. Yeah, my dad was an engineer, and I was born in a state that I never even lived. And then the first year of my life was spent in a state that I haven't been in, to live since I was a year old. Um, Even if they do not know about the case specifically, they may have info that can be helpful. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't remember what day was she, when's her date of birth? I can't remember her age right now. Was she born in like 71 or something? And they moved in that house in 75, so maybe they lived somewhere else before they moved into that house. Uh, but yeah, interesting. Hopefully she holds dual citizenship. But yeah, now the FBI is saying that we're not the lead agency. And we did talk about that the other day, but that story's kind of circulating today along with the bone story. I'll have to look more into it. From Melbourne to Tucson, okay. Um, yeah, I think weren't her parents, they were like from Kentucky, but I don't know where her siblings were born. That would be nice if she could take her family down to Melbourne if she hasn't already done so, like her kids, and that's pretty cool. Yeah, I got a lot of engineers in my family, and they've all worked a lot of different places and been to a lot of different countries. Yeah, her mom, like, she was a stay-at-home mom apparently until um, she lost her husband when Savannah was very young. Yeah, that's shocking that the FBI isn't the lead agency. I'm wondering if it's because they are investigating nanos. Suzanne sent the treat. Thank you, Suzanne. First jewel of the day. Uh, I wish they were the lead agency, to tell you the truth, Kelsers. Um, and I hope if there has been some funny business that's gone on with this investigation, that it all comes out. Because you know what they say, the truth always comes out. And if you've done something bad, it's going to bite you in the behind sooner or later. Ash Cash, welcome in. Wasn't the sheriff good friends with Andy's husband gone fishing together? And sheriff excused the family fast and isn't pursuing the case much. I'm new to the chat. Sorry if this is inappropriate to ask. No, you go ahead, ask all you want. That's what we're hearing. It's rumored, though, or it's alleged, or it's speculative that they are close friends, that they're fishing buddies and maybe going to games together buddies and maybe even casino buddies. Maybe. Uh, hey, Connie E. Another pip has arrived, as has Ash Cash. Yeah, hopefully you guys are able to see your little membership emojis today. Or your membership badges. Yeah, we cleared that up earlier. Because people last night were like, I can't see my badge. And I'm like, well, you're not a mod. And they're like, no, my membership. And I was calling it, oh, you mean the little star? But no, they're actually badges. I don't even know YouTube as well as you guys that are watching me know YouTube. And hopefully everybody can still hear me. Let me go back to the main dashboard. Yeah, we're still sitting at 86.56. I had gone up to 86.60. We've been going backwards the last couple of days, but I guess that can happen when you get to this number. Thumbs up, Donna says you can hear me. Thank you. Savannah been married twice. Yep. Mark somebody. What was his last name? The first husband? They weren't married very long. What was his name, her first husband? Can't even think of it. We've talked about this before. And then she was married to her current husband, Michael Feldman. And I don't think Savannah is Jewish, but I think Mike Feldman is Jewish. And I think the kids are being raised both ways, if that's even possible. There's a name for that. Like when you have one parent that's Jewish and one parent that's Christian, non-Jew. Like it's, I don't know how that all works. And allegedly he's a Clinton cleaner. Allegedly. Now, what does he do now? Don't know. Mark Orchard. Yeah, I was right about the first name, wasn't I? I just couldn't remember Orchard. Thanks for putting that up there, Kelsers. Yeah. Yeah, that was a pretty short-lived marriage. Then I heard this crazy story that when she met Mike Feldman, he came over to her apartment or something. And she said, and this was actually in an article, and you can't believe anything you read on the internet, but it was crazy. Like they had met through somebody else, and then he came over to visit, and her toilet was broken or some dang thing, and he fixed it for her, and then they were in love. And I was like, what a ridiculous story. If that's true, that's pretty bad. That would be like me saying, oh, to my plumber, like, oh, you fixed my sink and now I want to marry you. Like, if that was the attraction, that's probably not enough. Oh, Carol sent the goat. Oh my gosh. That's huge. I don't think I've ever seen that one. There's so many new jewels that I haven't seen before. They must have just updated them. I know I threw mine at DeJuice last night when they went to that Mexican dinner. I saw part of that, but I didn't see the dinner part. And I was like, oh man, I'm down to 4 cents. Me either, Kelsers. And I don't know why, because I've never met the man. But remember, we've talked about here before, me being a detective, I am an expert, self-proclaimed expert, but I am an expert at body language. And, I didn't even know who he was before any of this happened, but anytime I've seen pictures of them, whether it was since this case happened or before this case happened, and I'm just like looking back, because I've been researching everybody since this all happened, I just don't like the body language. It seems like there's some distance there. But I've never met the man. I mean, I've never met Savannah either, but I've always felt like she was, a nice person. I don't know. There's just something seems a little off. I don't know. But I'm the wrong person to ask because I'm not married. So I'm not here to judge. But yeah, there's just something about him that rubs me wrong. And it bothers me that it rubs me wrong, or that he rubs me wrong, because I never met the man, and he could be a wonderful person and a wonderful father and a wonderful husband. And But there just seems to be distance there. Like it's not a match made in heaven. And then this story was circulating about, yeah, he came over and he fixed her toilet, and then they fell in love because he fixed her plumbing. Like, huh? Like she needed a man. And he doesn't strike me as the type that would be, a handy around the house. I mean, it's just that's the most ridiculous story. And it's probably just some made up BS on the internet. He just acts like he doesn't care about her or the kids. It doesn't just set well with me. Yeah, like when they were walking through the airport to go to fly from New York to London because she was going to Manchester for Wordle. And it could have just been the angle that they shot the pictures, but they seem to be very separate, just walking through the airport. And you would think with everything that happened, he would be extra protective and, be right beside her or have his arm around her. But he just seems to always be looking at his phone. He is a communication consultant, apparently, AKA a Clinton cleaner. So they say. I don't know. I just want the best for her. If he makes her happy, he makes her happy. I'm not here to judge. I was impressed when I saw her daughter and her do that little interview together. And that was not filmed after this whole Nancy Guthrie case happened. That was before, but it's kind of like making the rounds again on the internet. And I thought, she was really cute. We were talking about her yesterday. Was her name Vale? Because she calls her Valey. He works for FGS Global. Yeah, how do you even get a job like that? What kind of education does that require? That you work for a consulting firm? I don't know. So many BS corporate jobs. I don't know. They just seem kind of like there's some distance. And that's just me, just like I was reading the body language of the first time the world saw Tommaso and Annie since this whole three-ring circus started. Because this has turned into a three-ring circus. First, this was just a missing person. Then it was a kidnapping. Then all this long cast of characters came in. And then it became a three-ring circus. What a coincidence he was on his guy trip when Nancy went missing. Maybe I'm reading too much into that. Yeah, that was a Christmas present. Like, here's a guy trip. I had a neighbor. I'm not going to say names, but she is a semi-famous singer. Because, in this neighborhood, you have a lot of neighbors that are in the entertainment industry. Semi-famous singer, married to a young doctor, a little younger than her, actually. And that guy was and is hot. And oh my God. Oh my God. I'm not going to say his name, but I remember one time he took a flight with a bunch of guys to Hong Kong. And they just did it so they could fly there and be there for like an hour and come back. And it was very expensive. And I thought, well, that's strange. Like, why would you because he was so busy with his wife and his career and, but he got on a plane with a bunch of men so they could land in Hong Kong, have lunch or dinner there or something, and then hurry up and get on the plane and fly right back and not have any sleep. But it was just the boys. And that struck me as that's kind of a weird thing for a married guy to do. And years later, and multiple moves later, and multiple jobs later, because he never seemed to be happy where they lived, where he worked, what he did for a living. There always seemed to be some kind of tension or unhappiness. They announced, and I'll never forget this, it was since I lived here, And since I recovered from cancer, but it was probably before the heart thing happened, and I was laying in bed one night on my birthday, and they announced, it was during the pandemic too, that they were already divorced, but had been a secret. They were still living in the same house because it was the pandemic, and that he was, what was the word she used? She didn't say that he was gay, but he was something something heterosexual. And I was like, what? Well, basically, he was a gay man, and he would go on these trips with the boys. And so when I heard that about Savannah's husband, and he seemed so distant from her, I was like, oh, maybe it's one of those things. And no, I'm not saying that he's gay. And if he is, that's fine. Everybody here is welcome. Everybody here is welcome. But it just made me laugh, and it made me think about that. Like, oh, remember Dr. So-and-so? And he went off on a trip with the boys. And they're no longer married. And, he's had some couple really hot boyfriends since then. So I know we're going way off the deep end here, but I just thought that was funny. Like, he went on a guy trip, and she gave it to him. She gifted it to him for Christmas, a tennis trip with the boys. Like, wouldn't you want to come home to Savannah? Sambo says he's guilty, Annie's husband. We don't know that. Maybe not. Everyone here is innocent until proven guilty. Connie L.A., how you doing, my friend? I wasn't going to go live today because I had my medical, but, I had to report on these bones in the desert, so I came on the air. Jackie says, hi, April Pips and Peps. How was your day? Medical crap. Oh, look at this. What is this? The cat ears. Oh, my God. That's terrific. Who sent that? Connie. Oh, my gosh. Thank you so much. I just want to give you hugs. I'm wearing my twin shirt today, Connie. And the doctor noticed that. And he was like, are you from Minnesota? And he started trying to do a Minnesota accent. And I'm like, no. I've never even been to Minnesota. I'm a baseball fan. He goes, you're not a Twins fan? And I'm like, no, not really. But, I like baseball. So, I'd like to go to their stadium someday. But, and he was like, well, why are you wearing a Twins shirt? And I said, oh, they sent it to me. And I showed him the patch. And he was all like interested in this. I said, yeah, that's cancer awareness. I said, like, they sent it to me for free. And he's like, well, wait a minute. You don't live in Minnesota. You don't how did you get a free shirt in the mail? And I'm like, because I wrote the baseball teams and I was doing like an experiment. But so far the experiment has been a failure. And I said, I even got dirt from Fenway Park in Boston. And he was like, oh, that's really cool. But he thought that was just like, he got such a kick out of that. And I'm like, yeah, it's one of my favorite shirts, I used to wear a Padres shirt because it was a Matt Kemp shirt. And all the people in LA that were like, how dare you wear a Padres shirt? You should be a Dodger fan. I'm like, I am a Dodger fan. I've been a Dodger fan since 3. But I said, look at the back. I'm into Matt Kemp. I'm not into the San Diego Padres, but it's just a cool shirt. I mean, if somebody wants to send me an Atlanta Braves shirt, I'll wear it. Lori says, I just like sitting back and listening to you. Calms me despite all the crap going on around us all. Thank you. I wish I could actually talk to you guys. Maybe someday we'll arrange that. Boston Bill, welcome in. I haven't seen you. Hi, April. I can't believe this is still going on. Me either, Bob, or Bill. I'm sorry. Connie says, yay. Yeah, I love it because I know Connie's in Minnesota. And I bet your good time of the year is coming up because you'll have a beautiful, crisp fall there. And we will never have that here in Southern California. How do you send the ear thing? That was cool. Oh, well, she sent a jewel. And I guess she just chose that. I've never seen that one. That's so cool. I love it, Connie. Oh, my gosh. And somebody else sent another cool one today, too. I'll have to look back on all of this when the chat reloads, which will be like another day. Dealing with a blood clot in your leg, so I've been taking it easy. Oh my gosh, Boston Bill, please, yes, take it easy, and hopefully they put you on a blood thinner for that. I wonder if that was the specific weekend Feldman was supposed to go, or if he chose that weekend. Don't know. Can you guys hear that? That is a fire chopper. Oh yeah, that's not LAPD or some private chopper, or that's a fire chopper that just flew quite low. We must be on fire somewhere again. Eloquist, yeah, me too. And it's not that bad unless you need to bleed somewhere, and then it's bad. Don't cut yourself while you're on that. And if you have to go off of it for surgery and then you have to go back on it, that's when it's really hard on the body, because the body doesn't know, like, well, I thought I was on this. Now I'm not on it. Now you're putting me on it again, and now I'm going to bleed. It's always something, but that'll help you a lot. In fact, that's what Perez Hilton was on for a month after his the blood clot procedure that he had. He had the deep vein thrombosis, and he had surgery for that. He had emergency surgery for that in Vegas after he had his bleeding ulcer and his sepsis. And he was on Eliquis for a month, and thank God he wasn't on it the night that everything happened on August the 4th. I might be having another ablation. You know what? I've had 2. And I just saw another YouTuber, that guy that reports on Nancy Guthrie from Ecuador. I can never remember his name. Tommy somebody. He just had one down in Ecuador. That's what you have right now. Yeah, an ablation is a very simple surgery. The wound on the leg where they put the catheters will hurt more than the actual surgery. Yeah, everybody pray for Boston Bill. He's a good guy. He's our bounty hunter. Let's see. Hello, Kathy Dory. Another one of my pips. Superficial thrombosis or thrombosis? I'll have to look that up. Tommy John, I believe. What? It's something. Is it the lifeboat? Oh, now I'm hearing the sirens. Hopefully they're unrelated. You hear that a lot in LA. You hear like fire trucks all the time. I had one already. Oh, you had an ablation already? Yeah, mine were less than 18 months apart. Should have lasted a little longer. But now I have a better chance now that they have done the second one. I just can't even. I keep trying to think about Kenley Jansen, the baseball player, because I always call it my Kenley Jansen surgery. And I love Kenley Jansen. And the Dodgers, they should have never got rid of him. Oh, if there was ever a player I could meet and just give him the biggest hug. Of course, he's about like, what is he, 6'5" or something? And I'm tall for a girl, but I would have to, like, you know. Oh, yep. I hear the fire truck horn. Oh, I hope they're not coming to my building again. It just makes me so like, ugh. Yeah, I was on the other night, Bill, and I thought the building was on fire, but instead they were hauling one of my neighbors away. And I saw like the paramedic guy or fireman in the lobby. I'm like, hey, I know you. You're in Station 86. You know, like, yeah, you're here all the time to pick me up, but it's not me today. Bill says you're 6'5". Oh, wow. Oh, wow. You should be a closer for the LA Dodgers, Boston Bill. Oh my gosh. Actually, we were talking about Nancy Guthrie, but somebody came in here with a medical situation. So yeah. And even though we're not talking about Perez Hilton today, if you've been watching my playlist on him, his sister made an announcement this weekend that she's going to start up reporting again on the website, even though he's still hospitalized and has no access to a cell phone. He has no phone. Like, he has no access to a phone or the internet in any way, shape, or form. 14 wide. Oh, wow. Well, no wonder you were a bounty hunter. Wow. Yeah, we'll see how that works out. Everybody, tomorrow is never promised, but take care of yourself. We're all in this together. A lot of my viewers here, not all, but a lot of my viewers here are in the older crowd, many of them older than my age group. Absolutely 100%. Yeah, I was just looking at a bunch of scans and x-rays today with the doctor, and I was just like, God, I can't even stand to look at my body anymore, because I said, my whole life until all this medical catastrophe happened, I was pretty thin. 5'2" and 100 pounds. Oh my gosh. Are you okay, Kathy? Oh my gosh. You are 57. Yeah, I got a lot of people that are over 65 that watch me. Connie sent a gift membership. Who got it? Lori Ketterman. Congratulations, you just received. And I just checked before you came on, Connie. I checked because the membership, especially because of you, it takes like a day for them to come up with the new totals. Let me see. It said that I had 93, and when I click the badges and emojis on the back end, let me just scan emojis. I go down to the bottom. It said you can upload number 14 with 6 more to go. And that was before you handed that one out, I think. So now I think we're down to 5. I don't know if that updates right away, because I know, like, when I looked at the totals yesterday, I'm like, doesn't it seem a little short? But it takes a day. It takes YouTube a day or two to update everything. But I was like, I can't believe I've got that many, and I still need a significant more in order to get the 14th emoji unlocked. But wow, thanks to Connie, because she's been gifting so many, we have the 2 Halloween emojis and the Christmas tree emoji. Yes. And most of you guys are sitting at the silver. They're silver, gold, and platinum now, because they were formerly just called the default name for them from YouTube is like level 1, level 2, level 3. But my level 1, 2, and 3 are now actually silver, gold, and platinum. And if you are a member, you can always click at the bottom of your screen. I think you click on the super chat button, and you can you can do it for free once a month. You can put your membership display or tag, whatever they call it, up on the screen. That it just says you're a member, and you can like write a little message, to the chat, which is cool. Thank you, Connie. You didn't need to do that. Oh, Kathy Doherty putting up 3 of the custom emojis. There's the giraffe with the monocular. There's little Kelsa kitty who is sleeping. My gosh. Oh. And there's little Amelia Kinsley bunny, and I can hear her behind me, and she's eating her hay, trying to push me like, hey, it's time for my, I can't say the word, but it starts with a P. P-E-L-L-E-T-S. She can't spell. She'd be waiting for that. Wow, that's just like, I've lived to take care of these girls. Kelsa's putting them all up. The Lady Detective, Amelia Kinsley Bunny, Kelsa Kinsley Kitty, the happy face emoji, the film camera, because when I started in the PI business, it was film cameras, believe it or not. The YouTube symbol, which I can only really see the tube, I can't really see the U. The baseball, the palm tree, the July 4th happy emoji, the jack-o'-lantern, the giraffe head with this binocular and in this one eye, the ghost, and a Christmas tree. Once I build up enough, if I can build up enough to get one more, I think I'll put like a Thanksgiving turkey, but I'd like to put like a Santa Claus in there too, because, that'll be right around the corner, and we'll be trying to decide what we're going to do for that. Yeah, she says, "Wow, yippee!" Yeah, I'm glad you got that, Lori. Enjoy it while it lasts, and you're not obliged to renew it in a month if you don't want to. They'll start sending emails. Stay hydrated. Yeah, I don't have my drink here. Connie, where's my drink? Hold on, let me grab my water. Thank you, Connie. Let me just turn the lens. I had my water. Where is it? Oh, here's some. I still need to go get all my waters. I had like 3 waters in the car, and I got another one at the doctor's office. So when I make a trip to the bin later, I will go get all the waters out of the car. I know. And you know what, Kelsers? I'll be personal here with everybody. October, my whole life, has always been my favorite month because I always loved the anticipation of the holidays, but Halloween was my favorite. Then there's Thanksgiving, and there was, Christmas break. They used to call it that in the day. Now they call it winter break because they don't, everybody's woke now and you can't say Merry Christmas anymore. It's Happy Holidays. And there is no Christmas or Easter break in schools anymore. It's winter break, spring break. But when I was a kid, that was like you started school just before Labor Day. You had Labor Day off. You had Columbus Day off in October. Then, once Halloween was done, all the Christmas stuff it's already coming out. I mean, heck, when I was a kid, you'd go to the department store to buy your school clothes. And, September, they were already putting up the decor because they raised the rent for all those places during that time in the shopping malls. And I loved October, but the worst thing that has ever happened in my life, even worse than cancer, happened in mid-October between the 14th and the 17th. And it's already starting to wear on me because today, and I love the number 17. That's one of my favorite numbers is the number 17. But everything that happened with that situation happened between the 14th, the 15th, the 16th, and the 17th. And I'm already in my mind, I'm starting to stress about that. That's always a very, very difficult time for me now. But yet, I love that time of the year. You know what? We're not going to make any remarks like that, Leo. You can come back and see us tomorrow. Yeah, somebody passed away. Yeah, we talked about it a lot. There's a tribute video in one of my playlists if you go to the Rest in Peace playlist. It is difficult to imagine the holidays where it is 100 degrees every day where I am. Where are you, Connie? Connie E. I know where Connie LA is, but we have a Connie E now and we have a Connie I. Because I think Connie I won a gift membership the other day. And I'm like, who is Connie I? Like, how can we have 3 Connies? Where are you at, Connie E? I wonder how they get into it in Australia. The South, Arkansas. Okay. I lived in the South as a kid, and it got pretty cold down there at Christmas time. Oh, yeah, we actually had a change of seasons when we lived on the Gulf Coast. Now the summer was pretty awful with the humidity, but it was always pretty pleasant during fall and winter and spring. We even got a little bit of snow a couple of times. Oh, the lamb is the light. I've never seen you before. Where are you coming in from? Yeah, if you didn't see the beginning of this, just go to the beginning and you can see the most recent, the update on Nancy Guthrie. And let me get back to my main screen here. Connie E says it is really the high humidity that makes it really bad. I can take the heat, but the humidity is awful. Yeah. And I hear that I got a lot of friends in Florida, some old and some new, some people that have actually moved there or some people that have lived there forever. And apparently Florida's like brutal right now, like triple digit heats and the high humidity. And there's an animal sanctuary that I follow down there, a crocodilian sanctuary, but they have mammals as well and all kinds of reptilians. And I've been thinking about them this week, like, wow, it must be really hot. And right before I went live, the guy went live and I wanted to see him, because usually they'll go outside, but they might mention like, oh, we're making, these changes because of the heat. But I just had to come on because I have a Dodger game in Denver that's starting in a few minutes. Yeah, humidity is the worst. And we've had it unusually high here in California. Although I did hear a fire chopper go over while I was on the air, so I hope they were just like practicing and there's not an actual fire in the hills. Coming to you from Western North Carolina. Oh, that's beautiful. I found out through my genealogy searching that my family on my dad's side actually helped settle Western North Carolina hundreds of years ago. It was the Boones and the Davises, basically. And my dad in his lifetime never knew that because I'd say, well, where's everybody from? And he'd say, Illinois. Well, what about your parents? Illinois. Well, what about the great grandparents? Illinois. He's like, everybody. Yeah, for hundreds from Illinois. But I said, well, they had to come over from wherever. Well, they came from Wales. Okay, and then they went straight to Illinois. As far as he knew, they did, but no, they didn't. They settled the northwest area of the North Carolina Territory. Yes, before it was a state. And I've been there before. I never ever knew that until years, decades after he passed. Eastern Wyoming. Oh, I would love to see Wyoming. I would love to see Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana. That's the part of the country that I haven't seen. But I really want to go to Eagle River and Anchorage, Alaska. But it will not happen in this life. Yeah, I was shocked. In fact, one of my cousins that comes on here, he was going to do a membership so that we can actually, or I can look up more information because there was a possibility that we're related in multiple ways to the Boone family. And I did a video on that. But after I did the video on that, I found out that our Robert Davis might not be the same Robert Davis as their Robert Davis, and we may be related in another way. So I might have to take down the Davis Boone video because I need more information to be able to prove it or disprove it. Snake Paris says, I saw your bio. You're an animal lover. I shadowed a zookeeper in Portugal for a month in March. They had a grizzly who loved oranges. Oh, wow. They have a grizzly in Portugal? That's crazy. Yeah, my dad's family, his father's side came from Wales. Yep. You were a Roberts. Yeah, apparently the northwest area of the North Carolina Territory was settled with the Boones, as in the Daniel Boone family. the Davises, the Carters, and the famous Royal Irish Bryans. Oh, my dad never knew that. Because he just said everybody's from Illinois. Like, but where did they come from? It's funny. I have a friend who lives in this building, and he's famous, and we have the same last name, and he happens to be African American, and he and his mother are from the same town in Illinois that my mother is from. And before he did his ancestry tests, when they were first coming out, he asked his mother, like, well, where did we come from? And then she's like, from Peoria. And he's like, no, but where did we come from? He goes, I want to know, like, who am I? And she said, you're black. To me, that's the funniest story. She just said, you're black. And then he did his ancestry test, and he found out that he was even part Jamaican, and they never knew that. And like, I love stuff like that. That's why I've done 23andMe, and I've done Ancestry. And some people are like, oh no, you shouldn't do that. Like, I would do it again. Like, it's so cool to know all these things. I know a lot of Davises. It's a pretty common name. Boone, Davison, Alexander, Burnett, McMahon, and Cherokee Indians. I got to do another test, Lisa, but apparently the fragment that's left over in my left kidney is still tiny, and it's possibly stuck. Although the x-rays haven't showed it, but it showed up in a post-surgery CAT scan. And we're just going to have to figure out how to monitor it in the coming months and years, on which test would be better. And, I tried to tell him, like, these don't run in my family, and I never had these before until my chemo, and I know many people in chemo, especially women, especially people with breast cancer, that when they finish their chemo, they all develop these similar issues, and it could be treatment connected. And he said, very well, but he wants to do some kind of a very detailed test to kind of see, like, what in my body could be causing it so that we can avoid it, because I know there's going to be a future surgery. And I said, frankly, I'm running out of people to get rides from. I don't have family here. A lot of the people I knew have either moved or died. And he's like, how did they die? And I'm like, just people get old, or things happen to people. Like, I'm running out of people to bum rides from. And, at some point, I might not even be able to take care of myself anymore. And I want this thing to be observed, because I don't want to be in a really, I don't want to ever be in an emergency situation over a kidney stone. And I thought I had successful surgery, and he thought I had successful surgery, until the hospital went, oh, look, it's still there. But apparently it's a very, very small fragment, so small that x-rays can't even see it. So it's always something. I know it's not good to have it stuck in my kidney, and I have a client, and I just talked to him a couple weeks ago, and he's old. He's like in his 90s, but he's passing away because of his kidneys. And I'm going to have to call him this week to see if he's still with us. It's really bad. That's so cool, April. What, the Northwest Territory of the Northwest area of the North Carolina Territory. Yeah. And apparently some of those people had moved to Wales and become like royals, but I need to have the membership one. And my cousin was like, I can buy this for 4 of us. And he said he was going to do it, but I haven't heard back from him, so I don't think he did it yet, because I do need to see, because the Davises and the Boones are related multiple ways. And for whatever reason, I was born with a baseball fascination, although nobody in my family, well, my mom and my grandpa on my mom's side, they were baseball people. So I guess that's where I got it from. But my entire life, I've been fascinated with the baseball Boones. And in fact, I was at one of their houses before, although I've never met them when I was a kid. Then they lived in New Jersey when Bob Boone was playing for the Phillies. And I've always had a fascination for the Boones. And I was sitting there with some California friends around the dinner table. We were like, your family and the Timmermeyer family and the Boones, we're all kind of from the same thread because we're all from Southern California. And then now here we all are in like Philly at the same time. But the three families, well, the Timmermeyers knew the Boones, and I've been to their house, but I never met them. I've always had a fascination for the baseball Boones. It's like a 4-generation family. And it's like, now I find out I might actually be related to them, which then means I'm also related to Debbie Boone. But I need more information because there are 2 Robert Davises that are born around the same time and died around the same time that fit into our puzzle that connects us to Daniel Boone's descendants. But it's not yet proven. I may never be able to prove it. And my other cousin, she was just like, April, you're one of us and we're your family. But I haven't seen my cousins since one I was 10 and the other one I was in my 20s. And I'm old as dirt now. And they don't live anywhere near me. So, can you tell us more about buying a membership? Yeah, you can choose between level 1, 2, and 3, which are now known as silver, gold, and platinum. And you get different things for different levels, but most people start with the first level, which is the silver level. And I think it's $4.99, but somebody said that if it's Apple, it's higher now. So you'll have to look. You have more information about your Wells family. Just that they are Davises, but they may have been Davies at one time. And some of them went to Ireland and like took over Ireland, and it's very complicated. I'm still learning more. But that's only on one grandparent side. If you want to be Welsh, you're one of my family too. Yeah. All right. Do you live in Wales or do you live here, Snake? I know. So I might be related to Debbie Boone and Pat Boone, and I did a video about it, but I'm more interested in the baseball Boones. Oh. And speaking of baseball, and even though I'm too old to like start collecting now, and I haven't collected since I was a kid, I actually ordered a baseball card today from Topps, and there's a reason for it. Because, my mom and her dad, they were Cardinals fans, because in Illinois, everybody's either a Cubs fan or a Cardinals fan. And she was raised a Cardinals fan. And there was a player who was a minor leaguer. And if you guys remember, I wear that blue shirt that says the Memphis Redbirds. And that has nothing to do with my love for baseball. I just bought that from a friend of mine who has a whatnot. And I bought the Redbird shirt. I bought the Cardinal shirt. I've since sold the Cardinal shirt, never even tried it on. But that Memphis Redbirds shirt, which is the AAA affiliate of the Cardinals, it has the number 22 on it. And if you guys know anything about baseball, somebody from the Memphis Redbirds who was number 22, total coincidence, gets called up on Saturday, and he makes MLB history because his first, second, and third at bat, home run, home run, home run. His fourth bat was an out. He went 3 for 4, 5 RBIs. He set a Major League Baseball record. I hear the fire helicopters again. Yeah, that's a Chinook. Something is on fire. That's a Chinook going so low. They probably just took off from Van Nuys and they were going that way. Oh boy. So yeah, this baseball player, Joshua Baez, follow this guy. Now, on Sunday's game, 0 for 5. Today they have a doubleheader. And the last I checked, I think he went either 0 for 3 or 0 for 4, but they're playing a doubleheader. This guy, he hit 3 home runs the first day, and I have that Redbird shirt. But that Redbird shirt is one of those freebies that they give out at the games, and it was a combo shirt between the Memphis Grizzlies and the Memphis Redbirds, and I didn't even know that was the AAA club for the St. Louis Cardinals. And it doesn't have a name on the back, but it has his number, and I'm like, holy crap, is this shirt now worth like thousands of dollars? The shirt I bought for a few bucks off of Whatnot? I doubt it, because it's not specific to him, but it is specific to his minor league team and his number. And this guy, now he may just fail. He may be another James Outman, and, he's a flash in the pan, and that's it. But I did something today. They just made a card, and it's only on sale for 24 hours. And when you order it, you don't know which one you're going to get, because they have variations. They have like bonuses, and depending on, the luck of the draw, it's like getting a winning lottery ticket. It's probably very hard. And it's just a random thing. Like when I pick you guys to be members, it's random when I do the YouTube generator. So if I didn't make all this money off the Jackie videos, which is not a lot, but more than I'm used to, $16 and change, because, you have to pay the taxes and the shipping and all that BS. I'm going to have that. I'm going to have one of those Javier Baez cards, and they only have a few of them, and then they sell out like that. So if I can continue to make money, when the postseason comes, they should release an updated series of all the players that came in like mid-season. And there might be a card or two in there. Now, like I said, if the guy's a flash in the pan, it'll be worth $1 or 50 cents. It won't be worth anything. But I thought, you know what? I'm not going to start card collecting at this age because it's too expensive, but I'm going to take the gamble. And I've been looking since the day that happened, because I know that Topps will put up a temporary card and they'll only sell a certain amount, and you get what you get. But you could get one that ends up being worth, $1 million in the future. Now, would I live long enough to see that? Probably not. But thank you for everybody that's been watching, buying memberships, sending super chats, sending jewels. Thank you. Thank you. Because today I bought a baseball card just before I went to the doctor. Snake Fury says, I was born in Wales. Think of your rednecks. You mean the Redbirds? It's the same for me. English tourists, God love them. They think we're talking about them, asking if my mom's eating her noon meal. I don't know what you're saying. Just because we're talking amongst ourselves. I'll buy a box of chocolates from Forrest Gump. It's the same. Safaria, thank you. Thank you for coming. What do I have on my hat? That's my microphone. And if you don't see it, you tell me that you didn't see it. Like, say, April, where's your mic? Oh, I lost you there about the rednecks. So, yeah, now that shirt, I'm like, this may be something, this little freebie shirt that I bought off of Whatnot, just because I was doing Johnny Johnson in St. Louis a favor. Like, well, he's actually in Fredericktown, Missouri, but I was doing him a favor. And I sold one of the shirts, and I saved the other. And then when I heard about this guy, I was like, is it my Redbird shirt, number 22? And this guy was a Memphis Redbird, number 22? And I'm like, but it's a hybrid shirt between the Grizzlies and the Redbirds. But it does say Memphis Redbirds. And somebody saw it and they said, oh, are you from Memphis? Are you a Redbirds fan? And I'm like, no, I bought this from my friend Johnny Johnson. But now that shirt, it might actually be worth something. And if it does turn out that my cousin Randy, if you're listening, or Brenda, if you're listening, tell Randy to hurry up and buy that membership so that I can further investigate this Robert Davis, who's a great grandfather, who is like, he's the key link in this whole Davis Boone family chain, although we are related, they said, in multiple ways. Because then I wish I had those baseball cards. I mean, to think, me being a LA Dodger since age 3, that I might have a cousin, although it would be very distant, who is managing the New York friggin' Yankees. I mean, think about that. But it has not yet been proven. But it is a high probability. And that just, as a baseball person, that blows my mind. Yeah, nobody in the family speaks the Welsh language, Snake, because they are all from Illinois, except for me. Hey, Kinsley. Yeah, I'm born in the Ocean State, and I spent 5 weeks there in Illinois between my San Francisco and LA moves as a toddler. And even though I don't remember all of it, I remember some of it, and it was pretty much a living HELL for me. And I remember getting on the plane at age 3, and I wasn't even 3.5 yet, getting on the plane to come to LA. And I remember what I had for dinner. I remember the flight attendant. I remember a military pilot sat next to us and pinned some wings on me. And I remember eating a steak dinner with some potatoes and an Oreo cookie and a glass of milk, and telling my mother that this was the best day of my life because we were going home to California. I still remember that. That was so important. That was like the line in the sand. We must go to California. We must go home. Oh my gosh. It just wasn't for me there. And then I thought, wow, no wonder I'm so different from my parents. Like, I've had a totally different existence than they've ever had. It's now in your DNA. It is in my DNA. Yeah, I am Welsh, and of course, British, and obviously Irish. Although it's not as much as I thought. And apparently I'm more German than I knew, because it comes from 2 different sets of grandparents. Didn't know that. So, but predominantly Irish and British, more British than Irish. And we're talking like England, Wales, Scotland, and Ireland, which is separate, because I know North Ireland is part of the UK, but Ireland is its independent country. But yeah, Northwest European, let's just put it that way. So long-term memories mean no Alzheimer's. I hope you're right, because I've been poisoned to death with surgeries, anesthesia, chemo, an abundance of radiation. And I feel like since the heart side effects happened, that I lost some oxygen to the brain during those medical episodes, and I'm just not all the way there. If I ever get on here and I don't know what I'm talking about, you guys call 911, say she's on the air and she doesn't know what she's talking about. But I hope you're right, Safaria. I'm sharp as a tack. I hope so. I know I can still do my PI stuff, even though I'm mostly retired, but there are occasions that I do help, like older clients. And I nail it. Mostly Dolls Helicopters is one of my Canadian friends. Donna McCoy says 57, no, German, French, Italian, and Belgian. Oh, wow. Yeah, apparently the DNA test said I was part Cuban, and that disappeared. I'm like, Cuban? I don't think so. Like, that would be cool, but it turns out it wasn't. Now they're saying that there was some Southern European, and they finally designated it as Italian. But my mother would never take the DNA test, and my father, he was already dead before these DNA tests existed. And so I don't know if that 3.5% Italian comes on my mom's side or my dad's side. I would need my cousins to find out if they're also like got the 3.5% Italian. Then I would know that it's on, the Davis or his wife's side of the family. So there's a wee bit of Italian. And I've actually been to Italy and I've been to France, but I've never been to Germany or Belgium. Your mom loved baseball. So did my mom, because her dad loved baseball, and she was basically raised by her dad. Yeah, her mom had a lot of medical stuff, and she wasn't around very often, and so she was raised by her dad and 2 aunts. And the dad, he was a big Cardinals fan, and that's where I got my love of baseball. She even had cards when she was a kid. And they somehow disappeared from the family home after the death of my grandfather, and she was devastated. Now I'm devastated because I would love to have those cards. I had so much baseball stuff when I was a kid, but I didn't save any of that. I even had those little Slurpee cups from 7-Eleven that were ball players, and all kinds of little trinkets that you get from 7-Eleven or fast food. But today I ordered a Topps card. And it's funny because when I looked up this guy on Sunday, he was 0 for 5. And I looked him up for today's game, and it was like 0 for 3 or 0 for 4, but they were getting ready. The game was still going, and then they were doing a doubleheader. In fact, I've got 1 more minute, and I got to be in Denver. Denver and the Dodgers. When do you think you'll be doing a live so I don't miss your opening? You know what? I can send you an email. It'll probably be in the next live. I'll open it because I want to show it. As long as you say it's okay, I'm going to show whatever you sent me because I have no idea what it is. And I want you to see my reaction, Donna. Hopefully it ends up being worth a small fortune. Yeah. And I never realized until I started researching this that baseball cards, it's so hard, it's so expensive. And there's series 1 and there's series 2. And then there's this updated series that comes out with the players that either got traded or came up for the first time, like mid-season or later, that are not technically rookies yet because they didn't really get a full season in. And so really they won't put out their rookie cards until the next year. But then there's various cards because some are chrome and some are paper, and some have colored highlights, and some of them have a piece of a jersey or even a base. Like there's some of these rare cards that Topps has made just this week that's got part of a base from that actual game that's on the card. Like if you could get one of those, like, oh my God. And they're like, well, your odds are higher for the more cards that you buy. Because you can buy like 1 or 10 or 50 or 100. And, I bought like 1. And I'm like, oh my God. And what I don't understand is a lot of people are pre-selling the cards on eBay, but the cards hadn't even been made or designed yet because it takes Topps 24 to 48 hours when a moment happens and they make like a moment card. Like this just happened. It's something historical that happens, and it just happened to be some guy that had never played in a major league game before. And so people on eBay, because I do eBay, people were selling them like hotcakes, even though they didn't actually have the card yet. And I'm like, well, how do they know that they're going to even be able to get that card from Topps when Topps don't even have it? Because I went to their website and there was a Javier Baez, and I'm like, no, that's not the same guy. This guy is Joshua Baez. And he's Dominican, but he's Dominican born in Boston. So, like, now he could be a James Outman, and it could be like a temporary thing. And then just, you never know. Or he could end up being the best player of all time. You never know. It's a gamble. I'm sure I just lost my $16 today. But I even have card protectors here, so I'm gonna I'm going to put it in a protector. I'm not going to get it graded unless it happens to be like if I got the one with the base on it, like, oh my God, like I'd get it graded right away and I'd sell it. Or I'd hold it and then sell it later. But see, the value could go down if this guy ends up, he was 0 for 5, just offers, goose eggs. The game on Sunday and the game on, the first game today, and now there's a doubleheader, and he may not even be playing in the second game. So he's just had goose eggs since this happened. I mean, here's a guy who's set a record, but he still technically doesn't have a base hit because they're homers. Like, that's crazy. And people, card collectors, were saying that this will probably never, ever happen again in our lifetime, that we'll see another player do something like that. I mean, it's never happened before. And Major League Baseball has been around since the 1800s. This has never happened before. And it just happened. Some guy right out of he just got off the bus from Memphis, like, and he comes in and he hits it out of the park. Now, it was Chicago. It's not like he could have done that at Dodger Stadium. That would never have happened. You got that wind blowing in Chicago at Wrigley Field. Maybe he just got lucky. And it was the same pitcher, too. And maybe he just, was reading the guy. Maybe it was adrenaline. Who knows? But I have the card coming. And it's not even made yet. Like, they've designed it, but they haven't. It'll take a couple of weeks for them to be printed and mailed, I think. So, I'm so excited. But I'm more excited. I'm so excited it's going to be like Christmas, Donna. Like, I'm going to want to open it so bad. I want to open up your package, but the next live, I'll open it. I'll send you an email or shoot me your number and I can text you, before I go on the air and say, okay, I'm going on the air. And then we'll do a mail call. So, and thank you for doing whatever you did with you-know-who. I don't know what you did. And I'd sure love to know, like, privately, what he said. Like, how did you pull that off? And did he give you a reason that it was allegedly sent 3 times, but it really wasn't? Like, I've done nothing but support the guy. But if you notice, I haven't been on any of the lives lately. You can see some Italian in me. Like, yeah, I got the 3.5%. But mostly Irish and Welsh and German. And my mom, her whole life, she thought they were Dutch. And when I did all these tests, I'm like, Mom, your father's last name is not even a Dutch name. It's a German name. And she goes, well, all I know is that they came from Holland. And I'm like, yeah, they probably did. Because the Netherlands and Germany are right next to each other and they have similar languages. And they probably immigrated from Germany to the Netherlands before they came to America. Like, they probably did. She says, all I know is they came from Holland. But they're not like, Van whatever, they're this German last name that's spelled multiple ways in Germany. Like, just because they lived in Holland doesn't mean they're Dutch. I just sent him the money to mail it. You sent him money to mail it? Why would you do that, Donna? I mean, thank you, but I just sent him the money to mail it? Like, what? Because he sent everybody else's stuff. This is going back from May 10th, and I got it on August 17th, and I would have never got that package, Donna. I don't mean yours, but I mean his, unless you somehow intervened. And I don't even know if I'm going to open that live, but I'll definitely open yours. Because I still want to know what the hell I did to piss this guy off. Because I don't have any enemies out there. Not that I know of. I'm nice to everybody. And all the YouTubers go, oh, I love April. She's so supportive of everybody. Yeah. And I always throw my super chats that I really can't afford to do and my jewels at the smaller YouTubers. You know, my favorite YouTuber, I've been watching him forever. He's got billions of views. He doesn't need my money. But I try to help the little people, you know, because I'm one of the little people. But hey, I gotta go. My game started 7 minutes ago in Denver, and I gotta go find the remote and set it up. So, you know, if you want to shoot me your number, Donna, so that I can text you like when I'm gonna go live and say, hey, I'm gonna do the mail call, and you can see it because I want you to see it, or at the very least, you could always see it on the replay. Just let me know. Oops, I hit the wrong thing. Yep, so I would know. He said he sent it 3 times. Just knew he didn't. I would know. He said he sent it 3 times. Just knew he didn't have money to send again and wanted you to get it. I'll email you my number. Okay, thank you. Yeah, like I said, every time I would ask him about it, but in a very polite way, he would get very snippy with me. Boy, that lipstick's been through hell today. It melted in my car, and now it just fell out of the pocket. I need better pants, people with deeper pockets. Yeah, he didn't get lost 3 times from Seattle to LA, Donna. That's just don't believe that. That's just BS. He's BSing me and he's BSing you, and you don't need to send him money to send stuff that, you know. And like I said, I'm not going to turn him into the YouTube police. But something's not there. Something's not okay with the guy, and I don't know what it is. And it makes me sad. Not for me, but for him. You know, what you see on somebody's YouTube channel is just a very, very small window of their actual life and what's going on with them. But I know you're like one of his mods or something, so I figured, you know, I would ask you. Since you come in from, you know, you come into my chat, you're the only one I can think of. Like there was a few people that I think have followed me from him, but you come in pretty regularly, or at least you watch the replays regularly. So that's why I thought, you know, I'm gonna like, you know, send you some emails about this. Well, he was mad at Opal Rose too, and he didn't get it back for 3 months. The mail is bad. Why was he mad at Opal Rose? I recognize that name. She's someone that comes into the chats. Yeah, I've never done anything to the guy. And I supported him on his crappy whatnot too. And I would get like, you know, garbage that I didn't order. And this was stuff that I paid for. You know, I would never get what I paid for. And then there'd be like 2 pennies on the side. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, I never called him out on it. I never gave them bad feedback. But I guess a lot of people got screwed too. And they went ringy dingy dingy. And they, you know, they probably whatnot was able to see like how behind he was on his shipping or whatever. And they went, you're gone. But I didn't even know that because I was like, oh, I haven't seen you on whatnot. And he's like, oh, I'm not on there anymore. Like, and he didn't want to talk about it. And then I heard like, oh, well, he got kicked off. Like, oh. And that was around the time that, you know, he was, you know, doing contests, and then he wasn't sending people their stuff. And he would even say, oh, it's only a stamp. It's just the cost of a stamp. Like, yeah, that's why I've sent you like $20 in super chats. I became a member of your stupid channel. Like, you know, there's something's not right there. And I'm sorry if he's listening. I'm sorry, but, you know, I don't know what the heck I did to you. Not you, Donna, but him. She was not talking bad on other channels about hers not getting to. Oh, she was talking bad on other channels about hers not getting to her. Well, maybe he didn't send it. You know, you can't do that. You know, just like when people came into my channel and they were like, hey, you're so supportive of the Eagles and you should put the links up in your videos and in your descriptions about where to send money for all these Eagle organizations. And I was like, no way. I would never make that mistake. I would never. You ever see a third party link and you think it's for me? It's not for me. If somebody wants to contribute to my channel, feel free. I've even got my links. If you guys want to go look at my links on my main channel page, because some people like to send me stuff or they just like to write a letter, and that's really cool. You know, especially those that are writing me from other countries. It blows my mind when I go to my box and I find one of those letters occasionally. Look at all the birthday cards I got, like from all over the country. People I don't even know that weren't even watching my channel. It was crazy because it just like got out. It was like, it's amazing. But I will never collect for third parties, ever. And I will never, no matter how far this channel goes, I will never have random spin the wheel contest and then try to figure out, who the right person is and where to send it. Because there's all the scammers that come in and they'll be like, oh, that was me. And here's my email. And here's my address. And it's not their address at all. It's a scammer coming and taking their prize. Like, you would never, ever see me run a contest. That's very, very risky. And when you do stuff like that, you need to send out your shit in a timely manner. Just saying. You can't be asking people to send like super chats and jewels and buy a membership. And here, I'm going to send you this because you won a prize. That'd be like the lottery. You bought a lottery ticket. And then the lotto was like, well, we're not going to honor that. And you're not getting your money. It's called fraud, man. That's actually a crime. There's got to be, that's some sort of internet fraud. He did show me it was sent back with her address. Well, then I guess he's going to have a lot of free stuff that's going to come back because mine was sent 3 times. Yeah, I got tons of birthday cards, but they had changed my last name. You can look back in April, and it was actually quite funny. You absolutely have to have integrity. And it's not that I would love to run contests, but I don't want to do anything that's going to get me in trouble. And somebody's out to get me and they win and they're like, I never got it. And she's a fraud and she's scamming and, nope. You'll never get an email from me that says, please send money. Like, don't open it. It's not me. There's all kinds of fraud out there. I know. I've been a detective for 42 years. As much as I would like to say, here, this is where you can send to the Ojai Raptor Center, and hey, this is where you can send to FOBBV. No, go to their websites directly and go to the source. Now, if you want to become a member of my channel, go for it. Or if you just want to watch, that's fine. But I will never be giving out free prizes because it will lead to trouble. That would be like, my eBay account or my Whatnot account or Poshmark or Mercari. Now I'm on Vinted too. And then me not sending the item. Like, that'll get you banned. Carol says, you seem very honest and have integrity. I do. That's how I live my life. Love your personality and a very caring person. So I don't know what his problem was. There's no way, Donna. It'd be like being struck by lightning 3 times. That somebody sent a package 3 different times and it didn't get to me. It's impossible. And I even sent him the home address. He's got that too. Most people out on the internet don't have my home address. They only have my mailing address. And I can track every single thing that's ever been sent. And that was because he said, shoot me an email Tell me what you want and what address you'd like to have it sent to. And the home address, I can track that on informed delivery. Even if it never gets to me, I can track it as soon as it's put in the mail. As soon as someone creates a label, I can track that. I can't track the commercial address because it's a commercial mail receiving agent, and I don't own that store or those boxes. I just am a individual renter through a third party. So it's technically not even my box. So I am not allowed to do informed delivery for a CMA or a CMRA, also known as a PMB. But I can certainly track any label that's made anywhere in the world with my address. They were never made, Donna. And I'm not feeding you any BS, Donna. I am, how transparent I am, that this is who I really am. And so I don't know what bug is up his behind. And at this point, I really don't even care what he sent me. I really don't. I don't even know when I'm going to open it. Or maybe I'll just, if I could do a givey, like, here, somebody can win this and they can have it. Maybe I should send it to you, Donna. You deserve it. And by the way, even though I don't know what's in the box, your box, I've already got some ideas in mind as to what's going back to you. Just saying. And I'll let you know when that's coming so that you can look, watch out for it. And I know you said I didn't need to do that, but I want to. Now, if I get like 1,000 Christmas cards this year in the mail, no, I won't be able to write back to everybody because it's, 82 cents a stamp now. And I don't have $800. So, but I have some cards that actually came in yesterday. They were on sale at Amazon. And so, we're going to try to figure out, I'm still thinking about what we can all do as a group, as far as, sending cards in the mail. We'll see. Because that's fun. I like sending them out and I like receiving them. I have quite a few YouTubers that I watch in Alaska, and it's really cool when you see things and it's stamped from the North Pole in Alaska, or it says the last frontier. Those are cool. And then the other day I got that letter from some wonderful lady up in Canada. In fact, I need to answer her email because she emailed me last night. But it's time. And now I have missed 20 minutes of the game. But thank you, everybody who sent the jewels today. And thank you, Connie, for sending, Connie LA, for sending the gift membership. And thank you, Donna, for doing whatever you did to get that envelope sent out. And I hope he's going to pay you back for that. Because, that's just ridiculous. Because he said it's just a stamp. And when all this started, I think postage was actually cheaper than it is now, because I think they have a raise in July. That one stamp would have been a lot cheaper in May. Just saying. Oh my gosh. If he's listening to this, he's probably mad as a hornet. But you know what? I didn't do anything to you. You know who? I didn't do anything. I'm not your enemy, man. But, he's lost a viewer. He's lost some jewels, a membership, and some super chat. So, but thank you, Donna, for taking care of everything. And, email me privately and we can talk about it more. I'd still like to know what the heck went on. Yeah, I don't know why he's got it out for me, I mean, he certainly couldn't be jealous of my channel, my 5 years and 7 months, and I'm only at 8,300 subscribers. Like, oh my gosh. But thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming. If you want to watch what this was about, the Nancy Guthrie case, you're going to have to watch the replay. But I'll see you soon, and send me your phone number, Donna, so I can text you before I go on the air to open up your beautiful package. Okay? Love you, Donna. Love you, everybody.